Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally, and today I want to look at a Watchtower music video. This is part of the July 2025 JW broadcasting that just came out. Tomorrow I'll do a video about the entirety of that broadcast, but I just wanted to talk about this very bizarre, unique stylistic shift when it comes to JW music video productions, as well as a Caleb and Sophia video that just got released recently. Quickly before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like on the video. It literally takes like a half a second and it makes a massive difference. It's really the most easiest, freest way that you can help support the channel, so I very much appreciate it. Also, I have a goal of hitting 45,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you could help me reach that goal, again, I would appreciate it. With all of that being said, let's do this.
When you're young, it's hard to find your way. Decisions every day. Who to be, what to love, where to put your trust. It's not easy to find your place, but I know how I feel. That Jehovah is real. He knows what I need. I will succeed if I follow his lead.
So stylistically, this is certainly a choice. Not entirely sure what to make of it. It's like, I don't know, Aha's Take On Me got drunk at a Christmas party, and it was looking over at Spidey, into the Spideyverse. It was like, hey, what's going on? You want to go into the break room? And then they're knocking boots, and then up comes Funky Town, knocking on the doors, and hey, what's all the ruckus going on in there? Wait, I'm actually cooking. That's like the most randomly specific thing, but it's kind of accurate. Actually, that makes it sound way too cool. Maybe we shouldn't give them that much credit. But no, they've taken a lot of creative choices here. But anyway, I'm not going to go and get bogged down by the creative choices. Some might say we got to move on.
Gotta move on.
That might have been the worst joke that I've ever made. But here we have our protagonist. She is at school. She is being presented with a very common situation. Hey, do you want to go on a date? You want to go to this concert? And immediately, she has this mental flash of social media, which is so like weird and concerning. Maybe I'm completely out of touch with reality, but I would not like to live in a world where if someone is getting asked on a date, they want to know how it's going to be perceived by people. They want to think to themselves, oh man, we could make an Instagram post about that, and just imagine how many likes and updates we could get if I went to this concert with Brad. Like, don't you take anything into consideration about Brad? Who he is as a person, how does he make out, does he treat you, all of that good stuff? No, it's just about the updates on one side of the equation. I think that's like a really fascinating insight into the minds of whoever is putting this together. Do they think that that is the reason people go on dates? Do they think that is the reason people get together? Like their entire lives are just completely controlled by social media? I'm fairly certain most healthy people have a understanding that what is presented on social media is a bit of a ruse. It's a bit of a fantasy. It's not actual real life. You know, there are some people that are legitimately upset when two people on The Bachelor end up breaking up 3 months later because they thought, oh man, that relationship, oh, they were just so perfect together. There's a little bit more to that. Yeah, sure, there maybe are some examples. Anyway, let's not get completely caught in the weeds here. So I thought that was a bit interesting. And then how it has the juxtaposition of these non-face just silhouettes of characters from a Jehovah's Witness pamphlet or something like that, where she's rejecting the boy. And now she is seeing herself as like, okay, now it's my turn to reject the boy and walk away from the situation. I guess that's why Watchtower puts these things together. So they want Jehovah's Witness teenagers to think to themselves, no, I need to be like this person that I saw in this cult propaganda pamphlet, because that's a valuable life goal to have. Anyway, let's move right along. Take note of her friend that is standing there, because she is going to be a very important side character as we go on this quest.
With his word I know the way to go. Jehovah's with me all the way I know. So I will keep myself on this road to life. There are paths my heart wants me to choose. Jehovah sees that too. So I pray every day to keep on the way, and he helps me to see what is true. And with the brotherhood, I always feel so good, 'cause with the love I'm shown, I can be sure that I'm never alone.
So another why in the road for this poor young woman. She has to decide, does she want to accept a university education, set herself up for the future where she can walk through a mall wearing sunglasses indoors with a jacket that's, not even on her arms, but just off of her shoulders. Ha ha ha, luxury designer bags all around. Or does she want to go and do free work for a cult with the dream of having her picture on a magazine? Or maybe being on JW Broadcasting because she's a Gilead graduate and she just managed to marry the right guy. Why is it that her decision has to be, you have to choose one of these paths? And yet Watchtower, as a organization, as a corporation, goes right in the middle. They are doing all the Jehovah's Witness shuffle, but they are also investing and setting themselves up for the future. They are making sure that they have financial security for decades into the future, and yet she can't do it. Why couldn't she go and get the university education, maybe get a couple of years work experience, whatever the case might be, and then if the circumstances, allow, then she could do some more volunteering for Watchtower? She could have both. She could hypothetically, theoretically do both. In the last convention drama with the evil apostates, they were suggesting the same thing, like, hey, we were saying the end was right around the corner back in my day, but we're still witnesses and we live a comfortable life. Watchtower does it. Why don't you? It's a very interesting false dichotomy that they're presenting to people, that they have to make this choice, while not so secretly. It's kind of just out there in the open, I guess. Maybe just Jehovah's Witnesses don't think about it. But the organization is not living like the end is right around the corner. They are living like, hey, we need to build another $250 million movie studio.
With his word I know the way to go. Jehovah's with me all the way I know. So I will keep myself on this road to life.
Have come of age in this organization. You have witnessed something very interesting since your brain kind of switched on, that prefrontal cortex started developing, and you have seen this organization kind of shrink. You have seen congregations disappear faster than a teenage boy's browser history. You have watched kingdom halls crumble and be sold and become churches for Babylon the Great. when you hear this organization telling you that there is a need to go and do construction work and build Kingdom Hall, wow, I just had a stroke there. I do not know why I just said Kingdom Hall that weird. I think that's actually how my sister-in-law used to say it. Man, that just actually hurt me on a really primal level.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But anyway, you are going to, I think, on some level, ask yourself, why? Why do we need to keep building stuff if we don't need it? We've been selling stuff. If you are 19, 20 years old, you have no doubt merged congregations over the last 10 years. The story I hear from so many people coming out of the organization is the same, that they have had 1 or 2 or 3 times where they've merged congregations because of a lack of participation, a lack of elders, a lack of ministerial servants, a lack of brothers who are able to do the sound equipment and this, that, and the third. You would have witnessed this and seen it with your own eyeballs, as you are developed for the first time in your life, trying to develop opinions and watchtowers, trying to crush them as fast as they possibly can. But you're starting to see the world and develop and form opinions about things. You're no doubt going to think to yourself, why am I being told to build stuff if the congregations are shrinking? What are we building for? The end's right around the corner. You're selling Kingdom Halls, and we need to build more of them? Make it make sense. The math doesn't math when it comes to their begging for people to do construction work for them. It's honestly just feels like busy work, something to get them excited about, or just a way to spend their money and diversify their portfolio. Who really knows? But kids that are growing up in the last 10 years, or coming of age in the last 10 years, are going to be asking themselves this question. And it's a lot harder of a sell than it was in times past. When you were a Jehovah's Witness in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you saw growth. You saw, wow, we built a new Kingdom Hall, 10 miles down the road, and now there are 3 congregations occupying that. Look, that's growth. It makes sense intuitively. When you take those and you shrink them and they're still telling you to build, it just doesn't work. Now let me just replay a segment really quick so we can listen to the lyrics. I know it's painful, it's cringe, it makes you want to rage, but just humor me for a second and listen to the lyrics as we have her school friend who was also there for the university. Now she sees her on the street as she's cart witnessing. Wow, I wonder what's going to happen with this storyline. But just listen to the words.
I can't look back on where I could have been. I'll keep looking forward to a life that never ends.
I don't look back on where I could have been. This is the most human behavior ever. Everyone does this. I don't believe that there is an exception to this. Everyone sits down, looks at their life, and asks themselves, man, it could be about something stupid. If I would have stuck with that diet that I stopped 5 years ago, I wonder where I would be at now. I ask myself that. Oh man, if I didn't quit going to the gym 10 years ago, what was the progress I would be? What would I look like now? We all do this. We all make decisions. We live with them. We move forward with our lives, but we look back and think, I wonder how things would have turned out differently if I made a different decision. That is like the most human activity possible. And a Jehovah's Witness kid that grows up in the organization and does the free work for Watchtower instead of pursuing their own course of life, pursuing higher education, whatever the case might be, finding happiness, finding purpose, finding meaning, they ignore all of that and they follow the organization. They do the Jehovah's Witness shuffle. They look back at where their life could have been, and it just would be better. It just would, like, you could have everything, have done that, because the end never actually showed up. Armageddon never happens. So at any point in time in history, if a Jehovah's Witness looks back at the decisions they've made and says, man, I wonder if I didn't follow Watchtower's advice? Where would I be now? What would my life be like? I mean, with some exceptions of, like crazy behavior, but if you're talking about like healthy, good things, you're going to think to yourself, man, it would have been better if I didn't take Watchtower's advice, because Armageddon never showed up. The end of the world is still not here, and I'm still standing on this street corner telling people that the end is right around the corner. Think about that. Every single Jehovah's Witness that looks back at their life can say, man, I could have done X, Y, and Z that the organization told me not to, because for the expressed purpose that the end was so close and we didn't have to worry about having kids. We didn't have to worry about getting married. We didn't have to worry about getting a job. We didn't have to worry about buying a house. We didn't have to worry about saving for retirement. All of that advice that's predicated on the end being right around the corner was bad advice. Everyone that's ever been a Jehovah's Witness for the entire history of the world will look back and say, it would have been better if I didn't do this. And that's why this lyric is in here. I just don't do it. Don't look back. You literally have to put your fingers in your ears and just not really in your ears, because you're listening to yourself. You have to metaphorically stick mental earplugs on your brain so your neurons don't fire in a specific pattern, causing nostalgia about what might have been. That sentence didn't make any damn sense whatsoever, but let's watch this lady get baptized.
With his word, I know the way to go. Jehovah's with me all the way I know. So I will keep myself on this road to life. On the road to life.
So now that this goofy ass looking animation sequence is over with, some kid riding an elephant waving at you, you have to wonder. So her friend, who maybe went out with a boy, who got all the updates on social media, that went and got an education, that has all the designer clothes, that did all of that stuff that the witness girl didn't do. Now she's in the paradise too. And if you really want to think about it, if she would have never have seen her standing on that street corner and she never got baptized, she would have seen a demonstration that there was this one world government that arose during her lifetime. And she was like, man, that crazy kooky Jehovah's Witness girl I went to school with was right. Well, I better hop on board. And she could hop on board and get the exact same reward. It rhymes. Cool. I can't help but wonder, doesn't that affect a Jehovah's Witness mindset? Is that why they're losing enthusiasm for the preaching work? They made that fundamental change of last second conversion. What's the point of preaching anymore? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But that is 20 minutes of a 35-year-old man in the Pacific Northwest ranting at some cult cartoon music video. So bet you didn't expect that. Now let's listen to this deranged lunatic talk about some children's cartoons and how we need to be hospitable. This was the worst transition I think I've ever made. So I'm just going to fade to black.
Oh. Be hospitable? What does that mean?
It's a quality mentioned in the Bible. We can be hospitable by being kind to others and making them feel welcome. Does it make you happy when others share with you? Hospitality is like sharing, but it's not just about sharing what you have. It's about how we feel on the inside when we do it.
Because we love others.
I think it's really funny that the least charitable charity that I know of the old tight-fisted Watchtower Bible Tract Society of Pennsylvania is trying to instruct kids on how to give, how we can think about others, how we should have concern for other people. They have quite the business model, don't they? They ask for donations, actual money from people, so that way they can use that money to do disaster relief and help other people. And then when it comes time to do that disaster relief or actually help other people, they can go and try and get funds from the government, and then they can ask Jehovah's Witnesses that donated the money to then give of their free time to do actual work and help people. And they'll do it on their own dime. They will pay for their own plane tickets. They will they don't like even put them up in hotels. They'll like stay with other Jehovah's Witnesses that live in the area. It's quite the scam that they got cooking. So it's really hilarious when they're trying to instruct kids on the value of being hospitable and doing good things for other people because of how it makes them feel. Watchtower, you have no idea what it would feel like to do good things for other people. But the whole reason I wanted to talk about this was mostly because of the end. So we're going to look at a little bit longer of a clip here, so bear with me. But the whole entirety of this thing actually feels like some weird pseudo-sinister attempt at getting people to visit Bethel.
There are many ways to be hospitable. You can make others feel welcome when they visit your congregation.
Hello, my name's Sophia. It's so nice to meet you.
Welcome to our congregation. My name is Caleb. Do you like dinosaurs? Yeah!
You can also make others feel welcome when they come to your home. You can even share a meal together.
I wonder who that could be.
Oh, I invited the whole congregation.
Just make sure you have your parents' permission before you invite someone over.
And remember, we don't need to have a lot of things to be hospitable.
Some of the most precious things we can share with others is our time and attention.
So, can we invite someone over? Please?
Sure. Who did you have in mind?
You!
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
So I think it was in an old Tony Morris talk, I believe, that he was talking about Caleb and Sophia and how great it was and how kids were writing letters about how they wanted to go and visit Bethel and meet Caleb and Sophia because they live at Bethel. Maybe I got my wires crossed in my head and that's just like some sort of false memory that I have, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
In 2014, I attended the International Convention in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the United States. After a little 2-year-old girl saw my face on the big jumbo screen giving a talk, she eagerly started searching all around her for someone. When her parents asked her who she was looking for, she said, "Caleb. He must be here because I saw his grandfather giving a talk." Many children ask to meet Caleb in person when they visit Bethel. 2 postings of an item every month is making quite an impression on little hearts. With Bible principles being impressed on the minds and hearts of children so early, we prayerfully anticipate many spiritually minded teenagers in the years to come.
So is this whole thing just a way to like incept children with the idea, no, you need to ask your parents. Caleb and Sophia invited you over. Don't you want to go and see Caleb and Sophia, kids? Come on down, you're invited. To start nagging their parents to go and visit Bethel, which will have an effect on a kid. If you are a young kid, 10 years old or something, and you get to go and visit the Bethel facility and see the Jehovah's Witness headquarters in action and all of this happy, smiling people that are doing Jehovah's work out there on the front lines, and they're all telling you, oh man, it's going to be so great when you get older and you can come join us, and here's what you can do, and here's what we're doing in this department. This whole charade. Is this whole thing just a way to get kids to start annoying their parents to go and visit Caleb and Sophia, to hopefully have a sufficient impact on them that they will want to sign up to go and work for free at Bethel when they come of age? Maybe I got my old tinfoil hat back on right now. Maybe it's the old tinfoil butt plug. Not really sure what it is, but either way, makes me uncomfortable hearing that little conclusion. So anyway, if that didn't make you uncomfortable hearing that closing statement, then this one will. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget to spend more time loving the things you love than hating the things you hate. You better have a good ass day.